Remind myself of what I was like when I was like 13 years old. I was very awkward when it came to touching as well. So we've covered, breathing and being more relaxed in your body, but now it's about the bodies of other people. What are you like if someone touches you? What are you like if you're just having a normal day, you're studying, you're fixing something, and someone touched your back like this? Would you jump and get scared? How about when you're being intimate with a woman and she's like touching your arm? Does that make you feel tense in any way? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Now, these things can feel very nice for many people. But for many of us, we can feel a little bit caged in our own bodies. And then when it comes to us being able to touch other people's bodies, that's where we get awkward. If I meet you in person and you recognize me and you want to come over and speak to me, sure, we'll do a little handshake, fist bump thing, fine. But then after that, if you tell me something that you've done really well in, and I kind of like slap your back like this to kind of, symbolize like, okay, well done. Does that almost jolt you like no one's touched you before? Or does that make you feel normal? For many guys that I personally know and that I've met through like these meetups from our tribe members, many of them who do seem quite awkward in their own bodies, in my opinion, it's because they've never really played sports or wrestled before. We were supposed to, as boys, like wrestle with our fathers, like daddy was supposed to play with us. But for many of us, we didn't actually grow up with father figures or with dads who were actually at home. And so many men are very like constrained and just like weird in their body where they'll just stand there tense. You need to wrestle. You need to get your ass beat. Honestly, you go into like an MMA gym, jiu-jitsu, boxing, get dropped, wrestle with some guys and like play fight with them. It's sad that many of us didn't have this. And for the guys who did have this, when we did play fight in school, what happened? Me and you wrestling, what's going to happen? Teacher's going to tell us off. We got in trouble. Like we were supposed to wrestle as boys. We were supposed to play fight. We're supposed to get a little bit hurt as well. Can't. With like the feminization of the education system, boys are being raised as girls. They're told, okay, sit still, cross your legs, don't talk, or, gossip and share ideas, but not to be adventurous, not to play, and not to push. That was like part of the rules that all of us went through in school was don't push, don't fight, don't be aggressive. But these are actually really healthy traits for young boys. You're supposed to actually hurt each other a little bit. But young boys, especially brothers, know this. Even if brothers never had any influence from the outside world, if they were locked in a room together from birth, they'd still fight each other. Like, for example, you see dogs fight each other, they'll nip at each other. That doesn't mean that they're actually being harmful. That's in a weird way, it's play, and it's them learning the boundaries of the world. What happens when boys are told not to harm each other when they're little boys? They don't know their own strength and capabilities to harm each other when they become adults. That's when they turn into criminals. That's when they turn into really harmful people. But the boy who's grown up with fighting his brother, and he knows his strength and he knows like the moves he can use to hurt someone, and also like the level of power he should use or not use to restrain someone. It's like he's learned that boundary of the world. That equals out to him being like a man who's free in his body, who's able to move and who's able to use like the right amount of force and momentum for speaking to a woman, for making love, for being with friends, and even being strong in the gym. And it's a shame when you haven't had this when you were a child, because you didn't deserve that. This is why some of my favorite meetups that I've done with my tribe members have been the physical ones. Just a few days ago, we went to the rooftop of a gym here in Bali, and I brought out like 25 guys, and we did a massive workout there with this head personal trainer of the gym, and everyone's doing like this almost boot camp, raw prison style workout where we're grabbing like the exercise balls and slamming them to the floor and grabbing the dumbbells and doing like, the fast hit style training. There's literally 20 young guys there, guys who usually would never leave their house, guys who have only started going to the gym for the last few weeks or months, all of us together. And it's just amazing seeing young men who come out and become free in their bodies like this. A previous meetup that I hosted, we did in the UK, and we all climbed the tallest mountain of the UK. Like 50 guys came with me, and I led them all to the tallest, most dangerous mountain in the UK. Then we did the other mountains in the UK as well. It's very important that men get together. And like people will say this is gay or something, but it's very important that men get together and essentially like use our bodies together, whether it's wrestling and it's fighting or it's hiking or it's playing sport or whatever it is. You need something that kind of makes you like here in the now in your body. One last tip I can give you is if you can get into martial arts and you can start sparring, that really helps. It's very hard not to be present when the other guy in front of you is trying to punch you in the face. And if you're into meditation, which is really good for you, when you do get punched in the face when you're boxing, it's like you've just meditated for 3 hours straight. Just instantly you're awake. There's no thoughts in your mind when this guy's going to punch you in the face again. You're just awake, you're here. Okay, sweet, I'm here. Let me keep my hands up this time. These things are very good for men. And it is beautiful seeing so many more young men than usual get into these environments where they're hiking, doing martial arts, gym, boxing, everything. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.